Hi everyone, this is Tina with Rehatch Designs, and I'm here today just to kind of do a little craft with me. I had done some dyeing lace not too long ago, and I had some people asking me how I make my alcohol inks and my glimmer inks that I showed that I was using, and I thought I'd go ahead and show you guys because I was kind of wanting to make a couple more colors. A little of this stuff goes a long way. It doesn't take much when you spray it on, but I make mine basically from markers. I have these spray bottles. I bought these on Amazon. I was looking for the link and I could not find it, but they have all kinds of these. I think this is the 2 ounce, which I bought the 1 ounce at one point. I'll show you those are like this size, and it's really so small it's not kind of even worth it. So and they worked good and everything, but they're really just not they're just so small. So I got the 2 ounce, which is really about the perfect size because this will last you quite a long time. Of course, you can use any kind of little sprayer that you have. A lot of times you'll get stuff in little bottles like this, but I found these on Amazon to be really inexpensive, and I know people have said they've gone to the dollar store and then they've bought like their travel packs and they'll have like a couple sprayers or one in there, but that actually is not very cost effective. It's actually a lot cheaper to buy these in bulk, and you'll find when you start making these you'll end up making a lot all at one time. So I like to use the those. Get this real quick. And oops, sorry about that. I also I would use the higher grade alcohol. This is 50% that I buy at the dollar store, which you can't get the higher grade now, like the 70 or 90%, because I had saw somewhere where somebody used that and they said that's what you needed to use. Well, it's more expensive, and right now during these times you can't even get your hands on it if you wanted it. So but I have found it's totally not necessary. You can use this. It works just fine. And I have bottles of this because I use it. If you've watched me for any length of time, I clean off my craft mat with it. I clean off this mat. I use it all the time because it works great for getting unsticking the glue off your mat. It gets not permanent ink, but it does get your other distress inks off really easily. It gets it off your hands. It gets the glue off your hands. Like if you're crafting and you know how you get that 3-in-1 glue or fabric tack on, and it just gets all gummy. You just spray a little of that on there. I have a little scrubby and it comes right off. So anyway, I have a lot of uses for this, but one of the uses I use it for also is to make my alcohol ink. So I use that. Let me get my other little thingy here. The other things, let's see if I have another one in here that's open. Yeah, it looks like I have one that's open. I don't have a white one. The other things that I use these LA Color Shimmer to make my shimmer sprays, and these are 3 different colors, but this is kind of a light off pink. This is a little bit darker. This is a purple. I use the white a lot, and I don't think I have any more of the white. Let me look and see. Am I out of that? I think I am. Maybe. Let's see. Oh wait, here we go. Okay, so I have a white here, and then I also have this brown, and I love how this works really good. Matter of fact, that's what I'm going to make today. And this is whenever you use it, this is an old bottle that I use, and I have the white in here because I use it a lot. So I had this bigger bottle. But this, of course, you have to shake it every time you use it. But this is really neat to spray on things that you just want a little shimmer, if you want to do that. So I do that. And then the other thing I use, when you use your shimmer spray, you need to put something in it to act as a sealer for all of this, for the shimmer, because otherwise it kind of rubs off. So you need hairspray. You either have to spray it after you put it on, or I actually put hairspray in my shimmer spray that I make to it has that adhesive in it, and it's a bonder really. I don't have any more liquid. I usually, when I do this, I use the liquid hairspray, and I put some liquid hairspray in with the shimmer spray. But I don't have any with me, and I'm not going to go buy any, so I'm going to use this. Believe it or not, it will work. Okay? You can use other types of glue. I've seen people do that, but I think it gooks up your nozzle if you do that. So I don't use that. I just use hairspray. And like I said, normally I use the liquid hairspray, but you know how it comes in the non-aerosol. I buy those cheap ones at the dollar store, and then I just pour a little of that in there. Markers. Most of my colors I made, you can get those cheap markers, you know, a set of, I don't know, 10 for $1 at the dollar store. I was like using other more expensive ones, and I tried these, and they work just as well. So these aren't great markers, but they have to be the permanent ones, by the way, to make the alcohol ink. Otherwise it's not permanent, and that's what alcohol ink is. But I use these, and they turn out fine. I mean, that's what I've used most of them for. What I'm going to use today is, I have some, these are all dried out markers that I have, and I thought what I might do today is I'm going to try and make some colors with that. Then I have some dried out gold and silver. Let me get these out of here. And also a blue, and these are metallic. And I thought what I was going to do is make some of my shimmer spray, show you how I do that. Oop, I just lost that one on there. Okay, show you how I do my shimmer spray, and how I make those, and I'm going to use these. But these are dried out markers, and I have used these before, and it really works well. I mean, it's surprisingly how well that works. So I was going to use that one too. Okay, so alright, so let me show you kind of how this works. First off, if we're going to make just the plain alcohol one, that's what we're going to do this, you need a marker. It doesn't have to be one of the dried out ones. I'm using these. Now, if it's really completely dried out, it won't work. But most of these, it's just the tip that's dried out. You know how you have your markers where the tip won't write anymore? But the inside of it usually has a lot of ink still in it, and that's, it's a great way to use up those markers. Now, I use gloves because this gets very messy, and I don't often use gloves. If you have any kitchen gloves or anything, they'll work. It doesn't matter. I just happen to have a box of these, and these are ones that I've used in my craft room. I haven't bought any recently because there is a shortage, but these are ones I've had around. Unfortunately, they don't fit anybody else but me because they're small. I got them because I wanted them kind of small so they would fit pretty tight, and they do. So anyway, so then I have my spray bottles. I usually always cut off the end on my spray bottle because you know how they make them too close to bottom, and then you can't get anything. So I do it at an angle. So get that going. So I have the top off, and I had a funnel, but I don't know where in the world I put it. So I'm going to have to kind of do it without it. Anyway, we'll try and do that without the funnel and see how it works. You're going to need a craft knife, some scissors, and some pliers, okay? And I use tweezers also. So anyway, so I do that. I have a long set of tweezers that I normally put in here to get stuff out, and I have to find those. I don't know where I put them, but these will work for now. So anyway, what I do is, first thing I do, let me get that over there, is I take my marker that I'm going to use, and you have to kind of break it apart. And that's where the pliers and the scissors come in. Usually you just snap it and it comes apart. And you'll see this long piece of like plastic in there, okay? And that's where the ink is. And most of the time, if your top tip is dry like that, it's just, this part usually has a lot of ink still in it. So then what I do is I take this, and I just take my craft knife, and I cut a slit all the way down. And you will see that it has like this material on the inside. And as you can see, there is ink in there because it's getting on my fingers already. And I take that out, okay? And if it's wet, it's a lot different to work with. But anyway, I like to leave it as whole as I can, if I can, because then it's easy to get out. And I put that inside my little bottle. Now I used to take this and put it in a paper, like a plastic cup, and leave it overnight, and then come back the next day and pull this out and then put it in here. But then I realized, you know, why don't I just put everything in there and then pull out the pieces later? So that's how I do it now. Anyway, let me take, you want to take this top part off too. This is called the nib, because this has a lot of ink in it, and you want to dump that in there. If it has a plastic seal on it, you want to cut that like this one kind of does at the top, if you can. If not, you want to kind of smush that and maybe cut it a little bit, because you're trying to get on the inside of that. You're trying to get the ink to easily come out. So I usually kind of slice it open. Be careful not to slice your hands. I just slice it a few times. You may even want to bend it. So anyway, I put that in there also, okay? And then after that, it's pretty simple. I just take the alcohol just as is. I don't mix it, because this already has, it's only 50% alcohol, so it already has water, etc. And so I just pour that in there. And usually I have my funnel, but I don't. So anyway, I just actually do that, and I fill it pretty much almost to the top, to right at the top. And you can already see, look at that, look how much ink has come out, and we haven't even let it sit yet, okay? So that's how much ink is in there. So anyway, then I just put my top on it, because you don't want it to spill, because it is permanent. Kind of shake it a little bit. And then what I do is I just let that sit for a few hours, or even overnight. I think most of the time I just leave it overnight. But you can see how saturated that color is already. And that was a dry marker. Okay, so like I said, you can buy the packs at the dollar store that are like this. I think there's 10 markers in there. And honestly, they're $1, and they work great, because I've used them for mine. And so, I mean, you can make some very inexpensive alcohol ink. So that's going to be my blue one I'm trying. And, you know, and the reason I say to buy these is that there's all different kinds of colors of markers, and you can make whatever color you want. of the marker. You can even mix colors, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. But that way you have just a rainbow of colors. And I don't even know, I think I got like, I think it was 24 or something for a relatively low price. But I do know it was way more cost effective than trying to buy bottles and reuse them, or buy the ones at the dollar store where you got 1 or 2 little bottles in, you know. Okay, so we'll do this one again. If you watch, sometimes you can break it with your hands, but most of the time you need pliers, and sometimes it's harder than others. I don't know how to really, now see how the top's going to come out like that. Okay, so take that apart, and it's really important that you cut this part here, because otherwise, I mean, the ink will come out, but not nearly as well. So you want to do that, cut it open, and this is why you want the gloves, because it will get everywhere. I don't think I cut the bottom of this. I mean, you could always do this later, but anyway. Okay, so I've cut that. Hopefully I did it enough. And peel that off. And like I said, I try and leave it in one piece because it's easier to get out later. And then this piece, you're just going to put that in. It doesn't have any plastic on it. You can kind of break it, but it'll work. Put that in there. Fill it up. Okay, and this is kind of more of a orangey red color, so it's very different than any of the colors I have, so that's good. Like I said, it can really be whatever color you want, and you can mix these to make different colors. So, you know, just like you would mix paint, you can mix those. All right, let me see here real quick. Let me get this. Let's see. What other color was I going to make? I was going to try this purple, and that's the same blue, and this green. Let me try that. Here, let me show you. This is the cheap marker. Now obviously this is a smaller marker, so it's not going to have as much ink in it, but let me show you. These are just the dollar store markers that you can buy. But I happen to have all those dried ones, and I know everyone has those and you toss them or whatever, but these work great for that. They work great for this. And each kind of marker is going to be different as far as how it's done, but they're all very similar. Let me get this out. See, sometimes this front part's easy to get out, sometimes it's not. Put that in there. Let's see if I can open this. There we go. Okay, so as you can see, this is not as wide as the other ones because it's not as wide of a marker. And let me get that open. And you know, sometimes this stuff will kind of stick in there and you just kind of have to pull it out. And if you can't get it out, you can put it in there as long as you've opened this part up, because that's how the ink gets out. You could put this in there while it's open and then that would work too, but I'm going to kind of twist that a little bit. I really try and keep it intact so I can get it out later. And I have, like I said, I have some long tweezers somewhere, but I cannot figure out where I put them. Now see, that was supposedly a dry marker, and look how much ink came out on my hand. So anyway, we're going to put that in there. And you can already tell that that marker had a lot of ink in it. Now check this out. This is just that one little thin marker from the dollar store where I think you get 8 or 10 in a pack for $1. And look how dark that ink is, that purple. Isn't that great? And that's not even sitting out for any length of time. So that's pretty good. Okay, let's see. I have another one. Let me do this green one. And you know, you would normally just be throwing these away. So now you can do these on perfectly good markers too. Not just the dollar store. I mean, anything you have. Okay, that part came off. Like I said, sometimes it's a little harder to get these apart than others, but then it's always doable. Okay, there's one. Let's take that. Looks like that one may have already been cut. Nope, it hasn't. All right. I guess you could cut these with your scissors too. I don't know that it would matter, you know. But, you know, just go up the side and kind of go like this. But anyway, so now see, I have taken these before. If you want to, after you open it like that, if you don't want to have to worry about trying to fish it all out later, if you leave it intact like this, then you can pull the whole thing out, so it's a lot easier. And then maybe even stick this in there with it, so it's all in kind of one piece, so you're not trying to fish it all out later. It just has to be able to soak in there for a reasonable length of time. So that's with the plastic in there. It'll still work, but you just want to make sure you open up the plastic part. And you can leave it in there with the plastic. Now see, that's going to make a really pretty green. So there you go. Right? And again, that was supposedly a dry marker, so it already immediately started making really great ink. So anyway, I would leave these for a few hours, if not overnight. Now see, that's interesting. The blue and the purple turned out almost the same. So we'll see what happens when we spray them. I can see a little difference. That's the blue, that's the purple, and this is the orange. I have another orange one that was that same color. I think I'm going to put that in there with that one and see how dark it turns out. See what happens. Excuse me. My allergies are killing me, guys. Okay, so you pull that out and break it. This is a really small, for some reason, pen. And I'm going to mix that in there with it. It's a little bit different color. It's a little bit darker than the one that I put in there, but I'm trying to make kind of a darker orange. So maybe this will work. I can't seem to open it. Okay. Let's see if that opens up now a little better. There we go. So like I said, you can leave the plastic in there if you know, to make it easier to fish out, or if you don't want to pull it all apart. But the important thing is to open it up, because then that allows the ink to get out. And then I sometimes will stick this in there so it kind of stays in there, so that when you go to fish it out, you've got just one thing to fish out. And I mean, you can do it the plastic cup way, where you don't have to fish anything out and you just pour it in. But I just found this, to me, it was just, I don't know, as long as I could get these out later. And even if you don't, you could still use them with them in there. It wouldn't really make that much difference. Okay, so there we go. I put more color in there. It's going to be a little, it's already gotten a little deeper, richer. I wanted it more of a kind of a Halloween orange, so I think that'll work good, because I don't have that color. Okay, so now I thought I'm going to make a shimmer one. And I wanted to show you guys how I do that. So let's see here. And I think I might need more bottles if I'm going to make other colors, but okay, so this is the white, and the reason I'm going to use the white is I'm going to take, I have two, do I have two silvers? I think I do, or maybe I have two golds. Maybe I'll use a different, no, I do have two silvers. Okay, so I have two silver dried out pens, and I thought and they're metallic, so I thought what I was going to do is see how these metallic ones do, and then maybe put some shimmer in there with it, and that would be kind of pretty. So on these, what you'll see is you have like a little sponge, a little applicator, but what I do is I just take this and I do it upside down. I just kind of tap on it. And what that does is it goes straight down in, except for some on top. Hold on. Some of it's not going in there good. I must not have it centered. Just kind of keep it over the top. You just kind of have to have something to tap on there with it, and it'll go in there. I think this one's called Snow White. Now I have opened these up before, and you pretty much have to like crack the bottom to get it all the way out, but if you're not going to use a ton of it, you really don't need to do that. You can just do this, and that kind of gets it out of there. Okay, probably need a little bit more than that. That's why I've cracked it open before. It's way easier to get out. But this thing, this little insert thing, I've tried to get it out before and I haven't been able to. So what I do if I want a lot out of there is I just crack the very bottom open, and I put it in a little container and then pour it in there. But most of the time I can get out what I need doing this. I just need something a little heavier to pop on top of there. Oh, don't fall over. Okay, there we go. And you just keep kind of tapping it. It's coming out pretty good now. Put a little bit more. There we go. You just need, I don't know, maybe a teaspoon is what you're really trying to do. And if you want more when you're done, you can always put more in there. Alright, so then I'm going to go ahead and put my alcohol in. Can kind of tell how much shimmer I have in there. Okay, so that's probably good enough. If not, I can always put more later. On top. Anyway, let's see. Okay, so I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to take, let me put this top on because I don't want it to fall over. I'm going to take these apart. I'm going to wipe that off. You don't want to cross-contaminate your colors, so make sure you wipe off your tools too. Okay, that's done. Okay, there we go. Like I said, I have never done the metallic ones before, so I don't know if it makes a difference, but I've done the regular colors, and you know, the shimmer makes it kind of metallic looking, but I thought, well, why not? I have them. Alright, so I've got that. I'm going to put that in here. Let's see what happens with that. That's just one of them. I thought I'd put both of them in there and then see what happens. I can already tell it's already turning into a silvery. Oh, that's kind of cool. See Hope you guys can see that glimmer, that shimmer. It's already there. I think that's going to be really neat. Okay, so I'm going to open the other one and put it in there too. I figure, hey, might as well try it. I've got both of them. Pull that out. All right. And again, these were just ones that were supposedly dried out. Okay, there we go. That one's not coming out that easy. So let's see. There we go. Okay, so this has like a different casing on it. It's like a heavier duty plastic. So I'm going to take my scissors with that and kind of just go up the side. And I think on this one, I'm going to see if I can pull it out. If it's not stuck to the sides too much. Yeah, I think I'm going to maybe pull that out. Okay, so I'm going to pull that in there. Shove that all in there. Oh, maybe I should have left it together because now it's getting hard to get down there. Alright, so now I'm going to put that in there. And trust me, my long tweezers, I'll be able to get this out later. So I just didn't like having to put it in a cup, take it out, pour it back in. To me, the tweezers were just easier. So, I mean, you can do what you want to. You can just get a little plastic cup, cut these out, put them in there, leave them overnight, and you'll be fine. Excuse me. So if you guys can tell already, I see how shimmery that is already, and like I said, you can add more of the shimmer to it if you want to, but I think that's going to turn out really neat. Yeah. Okay, so there that is. Let me put all this up, and then oops, I was going to show you one more. Let me see. I might have to get another bottle out. Hold on just a second. Well, no, I guess I won't because they're pretty much the same. Anyway, let me just show you what we've done. And I'm going to show you some I've already done. I'll show you how these look already. But then I'm going to show you the ones that I've made before. Just so you can kind of see how good they work. Okay, let me see. I need a blank piece of paper. Let me get a white one over here. I think would be good. Okay. Excuse me. I don't have a virus. I have allergies. I just took so much allergy medicine. Okay, so let me show you the ones that we just did, and these haven't even been sitting out. Okay, so here's the blue. I think that's the first one we did. So I mean, look at that already. I mean, that is so cool. And you can add shimmer to these colors too. You don't have to just use the metallic. Okay, that is just, I mean, you could, that's not even sitting out overnight. So that color will actually get deeper and more saturated when you let it sit out more. Let's see. Let me show you the green. And like I said, I mean, this is just, we just now did these, so. Okay. So you can see the green's pretty subtle right now, but that made it a really cool color. I think this is gonna, it'll turn out more of like a turquoise. So sometimes you can't really tell by the color of the marker that you used. Okay, so let's try this purple that we did, which at first it looked like the blue and now it's starting to look more purple. So and you want a mister one. Now see, isn't that pretty? That's such a nice lavender color. And that's from, you know, a dollar store marker that was dried out. So I can't even imagine what it would be like if you use one that's not dried out. Here, let me get another piece of paper so that you guys can kind of see what we're doing here. Okay, let's see. Don't worry, I'll reuse those for something, but wipe that off so it doesn't get on there. Okay, so let's check out this orange that I was trying to make. See how that looks, right? Oh yeah, check that out. See, that's going to be a really interesting color, more of like a coral. That's just neat. Okay, so then let me show you the shimmer. Here, I'll just do it on a new piece of paper so y'all can see that better. So this is the silver shimmer that we did. Oh yeah, that's cool. I hope y'all can see the shimmer. I really, you can see it more when it dries, but it's just really neat. Let me see if I can dry that a tiny bit, and then you can kind of see it. Moving around. It's moving around the... Oh, you know what? I forgot to do something with the shimmer. I'm going to show you guys something. Look, you know what? On the shimmer, this is what I forgot. And this is why you'll find it. See, look, a lot of that stuff will come off. Okay, so this is where I would normally have my, my non-aerosol hairspray, and then I would just pour some of that, I would say, gosh, not even a teaspoon, maybe a half a teaspoon in there. But what I'm going to do, and I've done this before, is I'm going to take my aerosol hairspray and I am just going to spray it right inside this tube in this bottle. Of course, this is not the ideal way. You'd rather have the liquid, but it'll still work. Just going to take a lot more than I'm just doing it with that. Okay, so then just take it, mix it up, and what that does is it kind of keeps it from rubbing off as much, although this isn't doing too bad. Okay, so let's try the other side. I must have some of that orange on my hand still. And then I love these. So you basically have made your own shimmer spray then, and it really works well. One thing you do want to make sure when you get your bottles is that you get a fine mist, and they're not hard to find and they're not expensive, but because you want it to be able to just mist out, not do big globs. And I was doing it kind of close up just so I could get enough on there to show you. Okay, so hopefully y'all can see that. And that's how it turned out. So, now see, now it's not coming off at all. You wouldn't think that little bit of hairspray would make that much difference, but it makes a huge difference. See, it's not rubbing. So it just glues that shimmer down. Now you don't have to do that on the regular alcohol ink. You're just doing it with the shimmer spray. So that's pretty much what I do. Let me show you. Get another piece of paper. I'm gonna have to. Don't worry, I'll probably spray those all more and do something with them later. I do want to show you that these are all these all have some shimmer in it. Like here's a pink, and I put the white in here, or I'll put the pink in there. I will tell you what really looks cool, and I don't have any left, and I was going to make more, but I didn't put enough bottles down here, is this gold. Let me see if I have a bottle down here so I can try it. I really don't. Well, let me see. Do I have an empty bottle? No, I don't. I have more in a stash somewhere, but I don't know where I put it. I think what I'm going to do is I've got this bottle, and I really want kind of a brown gold color. So I think what I'm going to do empty it out because I want a big bottle of this. So I think what I'm going to do, here, let me empty this out a little bit. Hopefully I have enough alcohol to do this in there to get more. Oh, my bottle's not real clean on the bottom. Okay, what happened to the top of it? There we go. Let me just kind of use that a little bit, clean it up. Okay, so this had some other alcohol ink in it, but I'm going to make a kind of a brown shimmer spray because I have a white and I really use it kind of a goldish brown color. So I have a couple, ooh, my greens, that's why you want to always make sure you put the tops on. I have some gold dried markers. And so, oh, here, let me put this in the trash. And I think what I'm going to do, let me move that out of the way. I'm going to do these. And I want to see how they turn out. Okay, first, it's not really a gold, but it's kind of a goldish brown color. And it turns, just doing this with alcohol with nothing else, it turns out really cool. But I thought if I put the gold in there, I think it would turn out really neat. So I'm going to try that. And you just really have to have something to kind of pound it in there. And I like, if you want to put a lot, like I said, you can crack these open. And I put them sometimes in a, and I might do that on this because if I do, let me see, I can put it in here. You know what? I might do that because I need a lot more and that's going to take a while. So these I got at the dollar store. I love these containers. They're great. Like if you're mixing paint and you know, sometimes you're mixing a color and you're making things and you want to have enough of it, but you don't want to use it all at once or you make too much. These are the greatest little bottles, and they go really fast. Every time I see them, I buy them. But anyway, I'm gonna try, and maybe, well, maybe not. I don't know, because it's not gonna be that much. I'm gonna try this for a little bit, and then we'll see. But what I was gonna do is crack it up and put it in there and show you, just because I kind of want a little bit more. Oh, it's coming out good. You want to, in these bigger bottles, have enough in there, but I think I'm going to get enough, so I'm not too concerned about it now. Do I need more? I don't know. Let's see. Hate to do all this banging. You guys are probably thinking, oh gosh. Yeah, it's coming out pretty good. So, okay, I think that's enough. So I'll put this little top on there. Okay, so then I'm going to put some alcohol in this. Alright, you can see already it's really cool. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these gold ones. Let me see if I can get that out maybe first. Alright. There we go. And this is the one that has that heavy duty plastic, so I think I'm just gonna open that up like that. And I'm probably just gonna place it in there whole. Okay, and put that in there like that, and I'll put that in there. And let me open it. This is a different marker, but it's metallic gold also. So this one, yeah, that has a really thin one, a little thin nib. And then let's see, this one might be a little different to break. All of them always have this little thing in the middle, so, but having pliers is very important. I see how that's long and thin. So, but that's kind of a heavier plastic too, so I'm not going to use my, ooh, that has a lot of ink in it. So that one was not all that dry. I kind of don't. It was just probably the nib was dry. Okay. So now I'm going to take that and I'm going to put it in there. Probably going to take these gloves off and put another set of gloves on, because I don't think I can wipe all that off. In fact, I may not put any gloves back on. Okay, so where's my top? Here we go. So now I'm going to go ahead and shake that up a little. Get my thing, wipe those off, pick that up. Throw that all away. Yuck, getting all over the floor. Okay. So now, let's wipe that off a little. Move that out of the way. So now you guys can see, look at that. Isn't that amazing color? Now let's just see how it looks. And then, like I said, it's not even sitting yet. You can see all of the shimmer in there. But this time, you know what? I forgot to put my hairspray in again. Like I said, works better if you have liquid hairspray, but I'm not going to go out to the store to get any right now, so. Of course, you lose a lot of it because it's aerosol, but you're still getting a lot more in there than you might think. Okay. Alright. Got my vent fan going on in the back, because I knew that would be like that. Okay. So I'm going to shake that up a little. And let's see how that looks. Okay, so what this does is it gives it kind of a shimmery gold look to it with a little brown in it. I could see that looking really good when you distress something. I don't know if you can see it yet. Yeah, you can kind of see the metallic in there, and it has a little specks of the not really a copper, but a brownish gold kind of champagne color. So that could be really cool over some things. And it will get deeper in color as it sits. And then I might add some, you know, I have different alcohol ink. Let me see if I can, actual alcohol ink I could add to that and make it a deeper color. But I want to just see how this turns out first, because I use the white and I use this color as kind of an overspray. It doesn't really have a color to it, but I use it to kind of go over things that have color. So I don't want it to be too saturated with color. So I think those two are going to turn out good. That's why I have them in big bottles, because you know, like I'll spray whole tags or sheets of coffee dyed paper or something like that with this, and it just gives it a little bit of a metallic sheen to it, and it'll look really cool. The white, let me show you how the white looks. The white I really kind of have to show you on something that has color already. Let me see if I've got something handy, because I don't. Oh, do I have anything up here? Oh, here we go. Let's try that. So here's this little tag, and then of course I have already, on this one, this is the one I did where I put the, uh-oh, what happened to the top? of my sprayer. It came off. That's interesting. Huh. How did that happen? Oh, here it is right here. So, I don't know how well this is going to take, but I'm going to try it. Oh yeah, you can see. Hopefully you'll be able to see it. Let me dry it a little bit, just so you can see. Now this is the white, and I use this all the time. That's why I have it in a bigger bottle. But the brown is cool too when you do it on something. I'll see if I have something else for you guys to see what that looks like. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see that. I hope you can. But see how it just gives it a little shimmery look? And all we did is just, you know, spray a little of this white on. And all this is this has actually no color in it at all, no marker in it. It's just this shimmer spray and just alcohol mixed together. Now in this, I probably put an entire thing of this shimmer in there. Okay, the reason I didn't put as much in this is I have those gold markers mixed in there, and so I think that will give it some color. So I didn't want there to be too much. But let me try this on something, and then you can see what that looks like. Do I have just a regular piece of paper? I don't know. Let me try this and see how it works. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I don't think this is going to absorb because this is what we did with the wax yesterday, but I will try it. Okay, so this is going to give it a more antique look if you do it with the brown, which I think is really cool. And if you notice, it has kind of a, like I said, a champagne color to it. I don't know if you can really tell on this that well because this had the wax on it, so it's not absorbing it as well. I'll just do it on the plain paper and see. I didn't really have anything to... Let me see what I have up here. Do I have anything? You think with all the paper I have around here I would have something, right? Oh, I know. I have got tons of paper up here. Let me try that. Tons and tons. Okay. Here we go. Let's try these little pieces here. These are a very good example. And whenever you have these shimmers, you have to shake them every time you use them. Because, yeah, see? So it added a little color to this. And I don't know if you'll be able to tell. Maybe you need a lighter color so you can tell. I just don't have very good examples here for you guys. Maybe this color here. Just the... So you can see it adds just a little bit of like an antiquing to it. And then it has like a metallic finish to it. Stay still. So what this would be a good thing to do is if you're trying to age your papers and give it just a little different touch to it, this would be really good. And I know it's probably really hard to see that, how that looks on there. But, and here's the other one. Not all the way dry. But anyway, that is pretty much it, folks. You can make your own shimmer sprays. You can make your own alcohol ink. And you can do it very inexpensively. This, I think I used almost this entire bottle. I'll probably just pour it in the rest. But this was $1. You could buy one package of dollar markers and make some of these. They even have metallic markers at the dollar store, you can just use some of those. I think actually one of these in the silver was metallic, so you know, you can do that too. So honestly, it's a very inexpensive way. And then you saw me when I dyed the laces, so in case some of you didn't watch that video, I'll do one really quick just to show you what it looks like, just to see. I use this to dye lace. I just take my lace, I spray it. This is where gloves would be good, but I took them off. Okay, so let's just try, why don't we try the purple? We'll try that, or lavender. And you put that on there, and you take it, you kind of wash the other color up with it. And of course, this color is not super saturated yet, so it may take a little bit for it to get strong enough to really stick. But let's see, let's try some of the blue too. Let's see how that turns out. You can mix colors with it. Oh yeah, see, the blue is a lot more saturated because I put two of them in there, and it was one big one and one little one. So this is kind of a dark blue color, and so like I have this pink, so let's see what happens when I add that to it. You can mix colors, and it'll actually mix right on your lace. The way it mixes is you have to roll it around in your hands. So look, now that turned into a pretty decent looking lavender piece of lace, and you just let it dry. And because it's alcohol ink and it's permanent, it's not gonna come off. I mean, it's permanent. So I don't know, I mean, there's a lot of things you can oh gosh, I don't know. I mean, you can do that on your papers. You can, like, see here, look, this is just my cleaning thing, and I mean, it's cool right there the way it is. But I'm just saying, you do want to make sure you clean your hands, because it will stain your hands. Usually when I'm doing this, I quickly, you know, do my hands, because I don't want to get this stuck on there, and it will do that, but you have enough time. But anyway, so this is what, mixing 3 different colors, and you can mix it right on your lace. So I mean, I use this all the time, and I do have a video out there on dyeing lace that I just did, and you know, you guys should check that out. But I mean, I do it all the time. I've gotten to where I don't buy colored lace because I've just constantly been disappointed with the color. It's hard to tell, especially if you're ordering it online, and sometimes you don't need that much of it and you don't want to buy a lot. So I use my alcohol ink to dye those all the time. So you know, that's just something that you may want to consider. Anyway, that's it for today, guys. I do want to remind everybody that I have giveaway Fridays. On Friday, I give away a lot of journals. I don't really sell my journals as of yet. I may in the future, because I'm starting to get overwhelmed with them. I have a huge stash of stuff that I'm giving away that I just have too much of. And so every Friday I have a giveaway, and to enter into it, you just have to be a subscriber and have commented on a video during that week. It can be an old video, doesn't have to be a new one. And for every comment that you make on a video, 1 per video, I will put your name in a drawing. And on Friday, I pull out a winner, and you have until that Thursday to contact me with your information, and then I will mail out your prize. If you don't contact me, then your prize gets put back in and redrawn, and at that point, you know, hopefully we give it away. If not, we keep putting it back in until somebody claims it. I will pay up to $10 shipping, and if it's over that amount, then you can decide if you want to pay it or not. Anyway, I do it every week, and you just have to subscribe and make a comment. So everyone, I hope you're having a good day, and spend some time crafting, people, or just doing something. I know a lot of people are doing gardening and things like that, get out of the house a little bit, or do something creative to get your mind off things. Don't watch television all the time. I was doing that for probably 2 weeks, and it is not a good thing to do. It's just don't let your head go there and worry about all the what ifs, because it's just not a good thing. So anyway, I hope everyone will take care, and I'll see you again soon. And I have no idea what I'm going to do next time, but every day I wake up and I decide probably that day. I don't really have a plan. So if you guys have anything that you'd like to do, have me do, or you have a question about, just let me know in your comments, and I'll work on that. I did have some really good comments on when I did my rusting the metals, and one person, Diane, said she used Miracle-Gro to give it kind of a green verdigris kind of look, and I am going to do that just because I thought that was a great idea. So Diane, I will be doing that, and thank you for that tip, because I've never done that, and I thought that'd be really fun. I am going to try and make a journal, a really grungy journal, very soon, because I have a lot of burnt and overcooked coffee dyed paper, a lot of rusted stuff, and I thought, well, that would be really, really fun. So I'm probably going to do that very, very soon, because for some reason I have so many, and I'm sure y'all are like this too. I have so many ideas and so many things I want to do, and then so many half-finished projects, and that's why I'm having giveaway Fridays, because maybe you guys can finish it. I have a lot of journals that I've made that I haven't decorated, so I'll be giving those away. So anyway, if you're like that too, just let me know, because let me tell you, there's just so many projects, so many, and not just in my craft room, all over my house, that I'm not good at finishing things. I think I have really good ideas and really good intentions, but I don't know. I just think I get bored easy, and I'm easily diverted, to something else. Like, I'll have a plan, and then I don't know about you, but I watch YouTube videos at night, just because I don't want to watch the news, and I don't want to watch some of the other stuff. I don't know. I'm running out of things to watch on Netflix and Amazon Prime. So if you guys have seen anything good, that's another thing let me know about, because I've gotten to where there's nothing else to watch. And so I watch YouTube videos, and I prefer that actually anyway, because it's very relaxing for me. But the bad thing is that I see so many amazing artists out there, and they have so many good ideas, and while that's a great thing, my brain, it's so full of things. So anyway, guys, I'm sure a lot of you are like that too. So just, if you are, let me know. And I'm going to try and do better at getting back and commenting on all my comments. I have been kind of a zombie for the last month. I know everyone's had a tough time. I don't know if y'all know this, but my oldest son works at a lab, and they test for COVID, and it just really has stressed me out a lot. He doesn't live with us, and he hasn't seen us, and I feel bad too, because he's alone, he's single, and I feel like that's just a lot for him to go through on his own and not see anybody. And he lives in town, close to us, but he's not coming around my husband and I, because we're here by ourselves. And it's just a lot, and I worry about him, and he's working crazy hours. I was texting him at 10:30 wanting to know how he did, and said he was still at work. He didn't get home till 1, and he turns around and wakes up at 9, goes to work, the next day, and it's a lot. So for those healthcare workers and people out there on the front lines, they are working hard. And there's also your grocery people and all your other people, and oh my gosh, they're just the delivery people. It's hard for them. Anyway, so I just decided, I've been putting videos out almost every day, and I've decided I'm going to force myself to do that. It's been the best thing for me to get my mind off of things and not worry and not do worst case scenario. And I think probably for everyone, having a diversion is a really good thing. So anyway, guys, just hope everybody's doing well, and if you've got any ideas, just let me know, and let me know how you're doing and how you're handling everything, and hopefully I'll see you guys soon. All right, take care.